Welcome, everyone, to episode number 3 of Kicks at the Castle. It's a podcast by 3 sneakerheads dedicated to that Disney lifestyle. As Walt would say, to all who listen to this happy podcast, welcome. My name is John, and I'll be your host, and I'm joined by the rest of the Kicks at the Castle team. I got Matt.
Can I get a ho yeah? What's going on, everybody?
And we got Irv.
What's going on? Shee!
All right, man, we got a great show planned for you this week. We got our Fit of the Week feature. Then we're going to get into Disney Springs versus Downtown Disney and World versus Land. Then we're going to go on property with our recent trips. We got some kicks in the wild, and then we're going to discuss Disney planning. But first, let's jump into our pickups. Irv, man, you want to kick us off?
Well, as I said last week, I was supposed to be like on a shoe fast, but I was talking to John the other day, and John actually did make that buy.
You broke the fast?
Yes, I did.
Oh, man.
And I really want to blame John because I don't have any pair of Jordans, and he just keep getting Jordans in. So I went ahead and ordered the Tinker 3s so I can get like the Jordan mix in the Air Max feel.
Nice.
Man.
Well, aren't you looking at the Air Max pre-days, the pre-day this week?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get those. That's guaranteed. I'm gonna get those Thursday. I'm not even gonna stress it. I already told my wife about it, so she knows it won't be no big deal.
So
I love that shoe. It's so comfortable.
Sneaker friends could be like a good and bad thing because it's like good because you guys or we can all talk about sneakers, but then we're all bad influences too because it's like, oh, I wouldn't buy this sneaker, but then I don't know if I should. But then everyone's like, nah, you got to do it, man. You're fire. You got to buy them. And look at that. You're supposed to be on a fast, but you caught what? 2 pairs? 1 pair?
I caught 1 pair, and I'm going to get another pair tomorrow. I put in a raffle for the Yeezys. I mean, I'm off the rails now.
Oh, slow down, Pee-wee. Oh, he did. Game on.
But hey, it's almost June 1st, so you almost made it.
Yeah, I mean, it don't count until the shoes come in too. So if they don't get delivered till like the 23rd, 24th, that's like the majority of the month, I think.
Is that how it goes, huh? I thought it was when the credit card bill gets billed. Dang. How about you, Matt? You pick up anything this week?
So I thought I was gonna take the last couple of weeks with L's. I took L's on the Legend Blues, and then I took L's on the Mushroom Dunks and the Shadow 2.0s. But shout out to my boy Nakanari for the restock. I'm about to show you boys right now.
I just came back from the mall, man. Guess what I got? Man, what you get, Sauce boy? Man, I got me some bathing.
Oh,
this box is, oh my god.
Oh my god!
Shout out to Sneaker Politics 2 for the restock. They had my size. I was gonna plan on reselling these, but after I got them, or after they delivered to my house and I opened the box, I was like, all right, no, these are going straight to the toe.
Oh,
but
nice.
Like for everyone listening, I'm sorry last week. I forgot this was a podcast and I had to say what the shoe is. I forgot to say that I opened a box of the Union Force, of the University Blue Union Force, or Union Force. What am I talking about?
What you talking about, Willis?
University Blue Jordan Force. But right here, I have the Bape Adidas Superstar collab. This box is insane. It is probably one of the nicest boxes I have ever opened, ever in my shoe collecting, whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
but
look at that, man.
Such a beautiful shoe. They have the star. I like how they have the star and the stripes different on each shoe. So this shoe on the outside has the stripes, and then the right shoe has the star.
Oh, nice. So they rotate
this
the
is the left
and the lateral.
and then this is the right. So it's different. Yeah. So it's like different on every shoe, but yeah, man, Bape and Adidas truly killed it. Like, this is a beautiful shoe.
I know you sent me that restock link when I was out for a run.
Yeah.
you tried to help me out. I couldn't get the cop while I was in the middle of a run.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Yeah, from box to shoe, this is like 10 out of 10 for sure.
Oh, that's stuff.
But not sneaker related. I did get a new mic. So I don't know if you guys can hear me better. I guess I'm gonna find out when I edit the podcast. But yeah,
definitely.
super excited. Fully committed to this podcast game. So decided to get a mic. And lastly, we got stickers.
What do you have?
Stickers.
Nice.
Be on the lookout, I guess, in the upcoming episodes on how to get these for free. But yeah, we got stickers. Hella excited. I already put it on my mic, as you can see, for those watching the YouTube video. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Shout out to Prince Charming too. He won the giveaway to get these, so shout out to him. These came out super dope, hella clean, and yeah,
And fast shipping on those
you
too.
guys to get these. What's that? Yeah,
That's right.
shout out to fast shipping as well.
So I guess it's on me. So for my pickups, I'll start out with my shirt. Got the Epcot vintage rolling from my buddy Chad at 100 Acre Hood.
On Main Street, I'm with my homie Chad. So
Super stoked. Came in for my birthday yesterday, which was awesome. Good timing on that.
oh yeah, happy belated, man.
Yo, yeah, happy belated, bro.
It's your birthday, so I know you want to die.
Thank
I
you.
already
so much,
told you
man.
on Instagram, but
You did, but
on the cast.
I appreciate that. So keeping it on the birthday thing, my wife allowed me to make a purchase. So I opened up these
man.
bad boys yesterday. As you can see, these are
Still got the eBay tag.
still got the eBay sticker on. These are
Yes.
one high origin stories, which are gonna look awesome for Avengers Campus. And I'm there on June 6th. The campus opens up on June 4th. And I did pick up a vintage Marvel Spider-Man tee to rock with it too. So
Oh, it's gonna be cold.
Nice.
got the whole thing covered. So then we kind of talked pre-show about maybe having a discussion about mids.
What did he say?
And so I actually bought these, which are they're actually called the Hyper Royal mids. And the interesting thing is I don't actually buy these to keep them. I buy them and basically sell them for what I bought them for, because I like to take the paper out of them, because the Jordan 1 highs come with like paper you'd get in the men's room to wipe your hands off with, and the mids come with paper with 23s on them. So for some reason I started swapping out my mid paper into my Jordan 1s. And so I've actually picked up a few Jordan 1s lately. So I bought 2 pairs of mids, and I've already sold them both, but I pilfered the paper out of them. And actually the origin stories came without the toe inserts to keep them fluffed up. So I actually stole those out of the mids before I shipped them off today too. So I don't know if that makes me a bad person.
All the hate that the mids get, I mean, it's not my type, but all the hate that the mids get, they actually resell for a decent amount of money, which is crazy.
Well, my take on the mids are they're fine. The reason I sold mine is because so last summer I picked up they did a Chicago with a black toe, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get these, wear the hell out of them this summer. You know, they're mids, no big deal. And I wore them. I think I wore them at Knott's Berry Farm one day. I probably wore them a dozen times, and then like I put on the Pine Green 2.0s, and I was like, wow, this shoe is way more comfortable than it's the leather.
Yes,
it's such a nicer feel than at that time I only had 2 pairs. I had the Bloodlines, and I had the Pine Greens. And so I put the Chicago black toe on one foot, and I put the Bloodlines on the other foot. And I'm like, I don't know why I'm wearing these Chicago ones around. They're not nearly as nice, and they don't feel as good. But I don't hate the mids. I mean, the thing is, they've got all the colors. It's just, you can't get highs anymore. So people that want to wear a Jordan 1, you can at least get a mid. I don't know. You said you struck out on the Shadow 2.0 Saturday. That drop was a nightmare. I I had I had my phone and my wife's phone with our sneaker accounts, and one of them was a draw and one of them was a purchase. And I thought it was going to be a draw, so I was actually in a hotel in Anaheim, and instead of being on my phone at 7, thinking, to try to buy shoes, I thought I had a 9-minute window to enter a draw. So I was trying to get Rise of the Resistance passes.
Yep.
I figured that was priority 1 because I had 10 minutes, and then so I ended up striking out on the shadows. It was I was unhappy, but
yeah, with draws I usually wait like 5 minutes in,
mm-hmm.
Because that's like one of the tips that I learned to do. And yeah, as soon as I looked at like 7 or 10:05, it was saying sold out. I was like, wait, what?
Why are you crying?
Yeah,
I thought it was a draw. I was so confused.
I know.
My burner phone had the draw, but then my other phone, my normal phone was like first come first serve, and I was like, what is going on right now?
Right. That's the same with me. My phone had first come first serve, and my wife's phone said it was a draw, and I actually entered the draw on her phone when I was doing the Rise of Resistance stuff, because I was doing that on my phone. So I didn't even have, I looked at sneakers before 7, but it's 7 o'clock. I was on the phone trying to get a boarding pass, which I did not get also. So you talk about insult to injury. That was a rough morning. And my wife, seriously, man, my wife
do an episode on. Maybe we should do an episode on tips on how to cop on sneakers and how to cop on Rise of the Resistance.
Exactly. I know, but my wife looked at me. She's like, "You're not going to pout all day, are you?" And I'm. No, I'm not going to let a tennis shoe or a ride, ruin my day. And I tell you what, man, we went. What was it? We were in the park. They were 9. It was 9 to 9, and we were there the entire 12 hours. We had a good time, but I didn't let either of those things bum me out. And they actually do Rise again at noon, and I was able to get a boarding time. It was one of the last ones. I didn't get on the ride till after 8 p.m., but I did get on it. And then Sunday morning, I was able to get it just fine. So I was actually on the ride by like 11 o'clock on Sunday. So it worked out. So anyway, those are my pickups. Like I said, again, thanks to Chad for the crazy Epcot vintage tee, man. I can't wait to wear that to see you guys in this summer. So all right, moving on. We got the fit of the week, and dang, this is a weekly feature where we ask you, the listeners, to tag us in your Disney fit picks, and this week is Secondhand Feels, and killed it with the dope vintage tee. And he's just chilling in Galaxy's Edge with Grogu, and his shoes could not be more fire. The skunk dunks, those things are awesome, man. That's a hell of a picture.
Absolutely killed it.
Very dope pair of shoes, man.
I'm loving all the tags and all the DMs with all the fit of the weeks. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, this one definitely killed it. All the other fits were definitely fire as well, but yeah, this one definitely killed it. If you guys are wondering what we're looking for, this is definitely what we're looking for right here, if you guys want an example.
Yeah. And I've had a few people actually tag me in old photos they've had from previous trips, which is awesome too. Yeah, if you've got if you put some stuff up a couple of years ago, you can still go through and tag us in there, and we'll consider that as well, man, because some of that stuff ages really well.
Word, I agree.
So yeah, anyway, so if you want to be featured in our fit of the week, just tag us and use the Kicks at the Castle hashtag in any of your Disney fit picks, and like I said, on property or not. All right, land versus world. Each week we pick up a landmark or an aspect from Walt Disney World or Disneyland Resort and decide which location has it better off. And honestly, I thought he was setting me up to fail, knowing that I'm the Disneyland stan. And but the more I thought about his idea this week, I actually think I can make a compelling argument. So this week we're going to compare Disney Springs to Downtown Disney. And like I said, I think that I'm gonna let Irv start off on this, but I think they serve different purposes, is what I really think. But man, Irv, kick it off.
That's a good point. I never even been to downtown Disney. When we went to Disneyland last year, we pretty much just did DCA and just the regular park. But we do Disney Springs on a regular basis, and I really like it, whether just to eat or to shop, try to find some deals. And I don't know much about downtown Disney, but I don't know how you're going to hold up their end of the bargain, because Disney Springs is pretty nice. Even like last year for Father's Day, I did the hot air balloon for the first time. I mean, like that was pretty cool.
You can actually go on the hot air balloon.
Yeah.
I had no
I've
idea.
never been on it, but yeah, you can.
I just thought it was for looks. I didn't know you could go in it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. It wasn't even that expensive. I think like before 10, we got like a 10% discount for like all 5 of us. I want to say it was less than $100, so that ain't too bad.
Before 10 a.m.
I think it was before 10 a.m. was like the day. It was before 10 or before 11, but I knew it was like, and we had to get there early.
Oh, dang.
That's really saying something, the fact that you came out here and you didn't even walk into downtown Disney.
Man.
Because what is it? I mean, like if you got a good arm, you could throw a baseball from the concourse to World of Disney.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like you have to walk through downtown Disney just to get.
If you're
Well, I
staying
guess
on
it
property.
depends on- Yeah.
Go ahead. How about you, Matt?
So this is my take on it. Downtown Disney is basically the marketplace in Disney Springs. Disney Springs, I mean, just how it evolved from the 90s to now, like a lot of people don't know this, but from, I think it's the east side or west side, but basically where Cirque and House of Blues is at, when they converted from downtown Disney to Disney Springs, they wanted it so that from where like downtown Disney was, like over where House of Blues is, all the way to the marketplace, they kind of wanted to kind of gradually show progress. So like if you notice from the House of Blues sides, it's kind of like old and like rustic, and all the way, and like as you're walking down towards like the marketplace, it gets kind of modern. So like that's why they converted from downtown Disney to Disney Springs. And honestly, I do miss Disney or downtown Disney in Walt Disney World, just for the nostalgia factor. Like I do miss like if you guys don't remember, or if you guys remember the magnet store or like things like that. But downtown Disney, I do give it that they do have the monorail, which is kind of cool. You guys have like another form of transportation.
Yep. And
you guys have the churro ice cream sandwich, which is fire. We don't have that here.
So I have not spent that much time at Disney Springs. When I went 2 summers ago, I went down there a couple times, did some walking around, did a little shopping, and you can't compare the two as far as shopping. You guys have way more there. And actually our downtown Disney is a shell of what it was. They took out the ESPN zone, and they took out the Rainforest Cafe because they were going to add a 4th hotel, which I guess got nixed by the city. So, and the movie theater is also gone. That was down at that end as well. So it doesn't have nearly what it used to have. And then we did have House of Blues. I don't even know how many years ago it was that they took that out. It actually moved over to the City Walk, which is off property now. But I would contend that with the extended closure we had of 14 months, like I would never drive to downtown Disney to have dinner or do anything. And I probably made 7 trips up there just to walk through downtown Disney to get a Disney fix. So to us out here, I think that it was actually really nice that we had something that we could enjoy during the lockdown. And I thought Disney did a really good job of making more things available. They opened up some parts of California Adventure to extend downtown Disney. And so I think the purpose that downtown Disney serves here is I think it's for dining for the hotels. I think that's really the reason it's there. There's not a lot of shopping. I mean, if you counted how many outside Disney vendors there are, I don't think there's 10. I think it's probably like 6 or 7. I think there's like a Sunglass Hut and a flip-flop shop and a Sephora or something. So it's not the shopping mecca. I think it's more just to serve the hotels to have additional dining. But during the pandemic, I think it was pretty essential to the Disney fanatics. And I can tell you what, Ann, if you want to talk about a testament to that, is when you show up there maybe 15 minutes after it opened and you have to stand in a parking lot for 2 hours just to get inside downtown Disney. I think that tells you how much of a need it served during the pandemic, because it was crazy. So but I think as a shopping and dining destination, I think Springs has got downtown Disney beat. But like I said, downtown Disney really helped out the Southern California residents. So that's my take.
Also, one thing I did forget, which I do miss, is Trophy Room. How can you forget Trophy Room? I mean, the only place on Disney property, I mean, obviously it got taken over by Lululemon, but
trade.
It was the only place on Disney property where you can actually get heat.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So, well, speaking of that, Trophy Rooms, I think Marcus said he's got another collab coming out. So make sure you get that online raffle, right? Just send him an email for your entry.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably already sold.
Yeah, they're already.
I need to work on getting those, but
yeah, you need to get a hookup. So anyway, all right. So let's talk about on property. Let's catch up on our Disney trip. So Irv, I know that you are not currently property adjacent, man. You anything Disney related? Did you go to they got Disney store? Did you go do anything?
Man, well, actually, I wish I would have brought it down. My mother-in-law likes to do like Goodwill shopping, and I got a few good things like some vintage cups and just like some pictures, some knickknacks. So for the next episode, I'll bring them down and I can show that. But I got a few things here and there, man. I can't really get away from the mouse no matter where I'm at.
Yeah, hear that. How about you, Matt? Would you get on property?
I did a couple of times actually, and I did take notes, guys, for everyone listening. I did take notes. So last week I went to Springs, and just a quick trip. I mean, I went twice to, I guess, on property, but both little quick trips just for some food. I went to Chicken Guy. Me and my girl got some chicken tenders with garlic parm sauce and donkey sauce. And yes, I'm saying the sauces because the sauces, it's all about the sauces there.
All about the sauce.
And
Sauce. The sauce is forever.
And yeah, it's all about the sauce. We also went to Everglazed, which is, for those who don't know, at Disney Springs, it's a new donut shop, restaurant, whatever you want to call it. And we got a strawberry chai with a strawberry donut. The donut's included with the drink. But they got some crazy donuts there, man. Like, they have a grilled cheese donut. So think of a grilled cheese.
I got to try that.
So think of a grilled cheese, but instead of like toast, like the toast part is a glazed donut. It sounds weird, but it is so fire. And then on Saturday, we went to Magic Kingdom, which was hella hot. It was actually the first day where they changed the mask policy. It was, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, so like outside you can wear, you don't have to wear your mask. Masks are optional.
How was it?
It was a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit hesitant to take my mask off, but it wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't crowded at all. It, like, everyone was very distant, and it was not bad at all.
So can you throw a percentage at it? Like, what percentage of people had masks on still?
I would say 90% of people had their masks off.
Okay, so just
So there was a good amount of people, like outside, but obviously inside and shows and like on the rides, you have to keep your mask on, which makes sense. Right. But
did you hit any rides?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it was also a quick trip. It was very hot. It was in the 90s. We went on Buzz. I did not get Galactic Hero. I know I suck. And we had lunch at Pico's Bills. I got some nachos and we took some photos, but that was pretty much it. It was really hot. My girlfriend's mom couldn't handle the heat.
No.
I couldn't handle the heat.
What shoes did you wear?
I wore the off-white University Red Dunks.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Brought out the heat. That's
Brought
probably
it.
why it was so hot out there.
Heat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if it's my turn, you guys can get up and get a snack because I could probably talk for an hour and a half about what I did this weekend.
Oh man. Let's hear it. That's what the podcast is about.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So this is my first time back in since March. I think March 7th of last year was my last trip. So it's been a good while. So as soon as wifey got off work on Friday, we piled in the vehicle and drove up, checked in to a hotel off property. We were we walked it on Saturday and it was 0.39 of a mile. So it was just like 0.4 of a mile. So we were pretty close.
That's good.
So, but I actually drove over to Springs after we checked in, or Springs, to downtown Disney, and we had reservations for Tortilla Joe's. Went and had dinner there. That was pretty nice. I had the flautas, which was excellent. I think my wife had a kids meal, kids taco or something like that. Anyway, we like going there. Had a few beers, got the weekend started. We had a problem with our tickets, so we wanted to go down to guest services and get it addressed so we didn't have to deal with it in the morning. And definitely shout out to Paul at guest services.
Hi, I'm Paul.
You know, we started talking to him because I'd actually called to try to get it fixed, and Disneyland, you'd go through the message and they would say that their queue was so long that they weren't adding people. You'd have to call back. So I wasn't able to talk to anybody like 2 times in a row. And I didn't want to cancel my tickets and buy new ones online because I didn't want to lose my reservations. And so anyway, he got it taken care of. Super cool guy, and didn't have to mess with it at all on Saturday and Sunday. But got to meet a couple people that I had been friends with on Instagram. But so it was a nice kickoff for the weekend. And I wore the Jordan 1 High University Blues to downtown Disney. I had to bring a pair for every day.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday so I had park hoppers. We did started at Disneyland both days. Just because we'd been to California Adventure, because like I said, they had extended downtown Disney into California Adventures, and the Taste of Disney was in California Adventures, so felt like we want a little more time. So Saturday I wore the Jordan 1 High, the 85 natural grays, and I can tell you that shoe has got a little thicker cut of leather than the standard Jordan 1.
Damn, boy, he's thick.
And after 13 and a half hours of walking around, well, actually it didn't take 13 and a half hours for my feet were hurting a little bit, but I wore them for 13 and a half, and I was glad to take them off when I got back to the room. Let's see, I think I told you guys I did 26,000 steps that day. So they hopefully they're close to broken in. Man, we hit a lot of rides. They did a virtual queue for Indiana Jones, which was actually pretty convenient. That's the first time I've ever seen them do that. As I mentioned before,
I was gonna ask if you did that.
I did. When we first walked by, we actually started straight for Adventureland when we went in. That was the other thing. So I did 2 totally different strategies. So Saturday, we left the hotel at like 8:00 and walked over, and we were in line by like 8:15. And the queue was wrapped around where the bus drop-offs are. And we probably got in the park at 9:05, getting there 45 minutes early. So we did it completely different the second day. The second day we left the hotel at like 5 minutes to 9, and we were in the park at like 9:15. By the time we got to the park, there was no line. We walked right through security. There was 0 people for the bag check. And so it was, and the reason we were running a little later is because we were checking out the hotel the second day, and I needed to load the car, and didn't feel like I needed to go too quick with all that stuff. But it was two totally different strategies. But yeah, the first day we headed straight into Adventureland, and there was actually just a standby queue for Indiana Jones, and it was our Jungle Cruise is closed, and they're right next to each other. And they were using the Jungle Cruise queue to wrap people around. It was kind of an interesting layout. And I noticed a little bit later in the day the virtual queue opened, so I jumped in that, and it was a pretty decent return. I want to say it was maybe like a 2 or 3 hour wait, something like that. But when it's a virtual, it's no big deal because you just do what you want. But so as far as rides, yeah, I did everything I really wanted to do. I don't think I hit everything. And Credit Coaster was down most of the weekend. Both times I was over in DCA and wanted to ride it, it was down. So that's the only one that I really was kind of like, I'd like to get on. As far as food, though, I can tell you that we did French Market for lunch on Saturday. That's my wife's favorite place. They got really good food. I don't like the way they've got it set it up with mobile ordering. Are you guys like that? Does everything mobile order there, or can you?
Quick service, yeah.
So it's all.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all packaged to go. They're not doing the trays like they did. They did a really good job of adding tables everywhere where there weren't tables before. There's a lot of seating. Way more than there used to be. So I think they did a good job with that. As far as snacks go, like I said, I haven't been to Disney in a long time, so I had to go churro, popcorn, and Dole Whip. Now the other thing, so mobile ordering, the return time was about 4:00 when I wanted the Dole Whip. The ordering window didn't open until 8 p.m. So I had to wait 4 hours for my Dole Whip, which was kind of crazy that it took that long.
Yeah, that's a while.
I don't think I want to do it that bad.
Well, again, not like I had to stand there and wait, but that was one of those things where I'm like, oh, it says 8 o'clock.
Order it and forget about it. Like, oh yeah, it's like 8 o'clock, like on the way to my car. I'm like, oh yeah, I ordered a Dole Whip.
Well, that was the thing, is I was kind of held hostage by my Rise of the Resistance mobile virtual queue, because I think the ride must have gone down, because when I got it, I was supposed to be able to go around 6, and I wasn't eventually able to get on till 8. So it was kind of weird, like not sure if I should go get dinner. And so actually for dinner, we had an ice cream sundae at Gibson Girl. That was a nutritious dinner. And we actually we didn't get any real food until after we'd left the park, and I drove and got some, but man, we had a really good time. I think the highlight though would have been, well, actually the low light was, I actually talked my wife into Rise of the Resistance. I told you guys before that she's not much of a rider, and I'm like, oh yeah, it was great. Tell her how it was. And she's like, well, is it bumpy like Indiana Jones? Because she'll go on that. And I'm like, oh no, it's really smooth when you drive around. And I know she's not a fan of Star Tours, and I was telling her, I go, well, the first part in the shuttle is, it's not that big of a deal. You don't even have a seatbelt, so it's not that bad. I kind of forgot about the escape pod thing where you drop the 10 feet or whatever, and then go. And so she was literally punching me when that happened.
No. Oh shit.
And I don't like, she's like trying to get out during that, and so that was. I want to say I ruined her for that, because like I think she got a little motion sick, and so like we didn't end up going on Cars. That was the other one I would have liked to done, is done the Radiator Springs Racers. But but that was her first time on Rise of the Resistance, and so at least she can say she did it. And we wrapped it up at Lamplight. Man, that was I don't know if you guys saw that picture. Nothing like sitting in a club chair after 2 full days of park hopping and having a couple beers to end off the trip. It was a really good time. And Sunday had the Jordan 3 Georgetowns, so it was those were much more comfortable. I was totally fine all day in those. The ones were they were a little tough for that long of a day. So anyway, that's probably enough of that. I've got a couple other things I was going to talk about, but I'll save that for next time. And again, I guess we can kind of segue into Kicks in the Wild. I'd mentioned that I met a friend up there as Hector. His Instagram handle is H&M Real Life Adventures, and it was cool. He met me before I got my reservation. We hung out for about 20 minutes. It would have been nice to hang out with him a little longer. Actually, it'd have been good if we could go in the parks with him. But he was wearing his Jordan 1 turf orange. That's It's a mid top with the patent leather. Anyway, it was funny. I thought about it too late. I was going to message him and tell him to wear his, I know he's got the fire red 4s and so do I. I thought it would have been funny if we'd have gone with the matching shoes for that. But anyway, we'll keep an eye out for people with Kicks in the Wild in future segments. So anyway, we could check on the DMs. And I'm not any specific ones I want to read this week, but I do want to thank everybody for all the birthday well wishes. My inbox was pretty bombed yesterday. I appreciate all the well wishes. It was very humbling, and I appreciate everybody taking time to reach out to me. And as far as shout outs go, I'd also like to give a huge shout out to the guys at Canada Got Soul. They had me on their podcast last weekend. It dropped on Saturday. I listened to part of it while I was getting ready. I haven't finished the whole thing, but it was cool for them to have me on. I've been listening to their podcast for a year and a half, and it was nice to get to chat with those guys. They're a good group, so check them out. True to Size is the name of their podcast. So main topic. Basically, are you a Disney planner or do you wing it? Do you have a spreadsheet? This came up. We had talked about me last podcast. It seems like forever ago. We were talking about me getting my dining reservations, and I mentioned how I had a spreadsheet going, and a couple people would actually message me about that. And so, man, what do you guys do? Irv, man, do you plan your trips, or you just whatever's the shortest line, or how do you roll?
Well, I am blessed that my wife, who just walked behind me, is
My wife.
she is the planner. Pretty much all I have to do is just fund the excursions, and she plans it out beautifully, like pretty much step by step. I know where we're going to eat, what rides we're going to do, what shows we're going to watch, what time we're going to take a break if we're going to do that. So like in her phone right now, she has notes for trips that we're going to take in like August. Like she's really she's about that life.
That's incredible. So even if you just pop over for an afternoon, you guys have it mapped out?
Yeah, I mean, even if it's like, oh, we're gonna chill today, she has a plan to chill. Like, oh man, we'll do this first, then we'll do that. Like, babe, we're not chilling. You got a
plan. Plan to chill. Got it. See, I was thinking maybe you might go off the cuff or something like that every now and then, that you go so often.
No, I mean, and the thing is, I rarely go by myself. But if I go by myself, I have no plan. Like, I literally walk in the park and just go wherever my feet lead me. But I probably go by myself, like, once in a blue moon. But if I go with her and the kids, and I think the kids, they kind of got that from her too, because we'll be driving and they'll be like, all right, Dad, let's do this and let's do that. I'm like, let's just get there first and we'll take it one step at a time.
I like that. And how about you, man?
So are we comparing like to Disneyland and Disney World, or just like in general?
Well, I think there's several different things, because I think that, like, if you were gonna, like, so for example, say you're gonna pop over after work, grab a bite and hit a ride, versus maybe you're doing a staycation, you're staying in a hotel for a couple days, or the third option would be you guys are flying out here to Disneyland, and you're going to spend a few days here. It feels like that those might be treated differently as far as the planning aspect.
True. Okay. So I guess, yeah, like if I'm just like after work and I want to get some park therapy or whatever, that's definitely a wing it situation. But if I'm like flying, well, actually, if I'm going to Disneyland in general, I feel like that's more of a kind of wing it type deal, because Disney World and Disneyland are two totally different, like the way they set up, like they're two different apps.
Completely. Absolutely.
So Disneyland is definitely more of a wing it type of park, because like, I mean, going back to when everything is normal as well. So Disneyland,
the fast passes, like the pre-COVID fast pass program, is Disneyland's nothing like Disney World.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, if you get Max Pass, like you can just pick whatever ride that you want to go on, or choose whatever fast pass if it's available, and do whatever. And most of the restaurants you can kind of do a walk up. But compared to Disney World, if I'm staying like at a resort for like a couple days, or like on vacation, or if I'm doing like a full day at Disney World, that is definitely like, I feel like Disney World, you definitely got to plan, because like you got to make your fast passes like 60 days in advance. Your dining reservations 180 days in advance. Like it is like it is very intensive to it's very intensive to, I guess, plan for Disney.
Do you
World.
actually use a spreadsheet, or do you kind of just map it out?
I kind of just map it out. I mean, everything is on the app anyway, so it's all there. I just scroll through the app and see whatever I had planned.
Yeah. See, for me, the reason the question even came up is, so I've been, like I said, last time we talked, I was working on the Disney dining. And so of course I had a spreadsheet. I had the parks on what day we're going to be at what park. And then I had the park hours on there. So like, like Animal Kingdom's closing at 6. So probably not going to have dinner there. We're probably that'll be a night where I'd go to a resort to have dinner, or if I was, so I had to have the hours, I had to have the park days and which day I'm in which park. And then, I doing all this work. And then my wife says, well, what do you have planned for this weekend? We're going to Disneyland. And I go, I got a Lamplight Lounge reservation. That's it. I didn't, we're just gonna roll like you said. It's just what's got the shortest line. Okay, let's go there. So
like now I would say, I mean, it's definitely more like a wing it situation. Like me and my girlfriend, we usually just go for like night trips for like dinner or whatever for like a couple hours, and we just kind of wing it. Just go in there, find something to eat, go on a ride, and dip out.
So yeah, I was gonna say, so the one thing I started looking at my sheet, and I started looking at how many friggin' $200 dinners I had. And I'm like, I really want to spend this kind of money on food. Like I was looking, so you guys had recommended Topolino's, and so I got a reservation. And my wife, I've had my wife look at the menu, and then I ended up canceling the reservation because, like you said, she didn't see anything she wanted to eat there. So I'm like just moving things around, and I'm like, so I had a dinner planned at La Cellière, or whatever, however you say that, in the Canadian Pavilion in Epcot. I had a dinner planned for July 13th, and a guy I know, Griffin, works there, and he's like, oh, I don't work that day. And so then I try to change it to July 9th. And at that point, all I could get is like $340. I couldn't even get a dinner. So now I'm going to go have a $200 lunch. But then I'm looking, I've got Be Our Guest scheduled. I got the Tapanita scheduled. And I'm like, man, I need some cheaper meals. I don't know. I'm going to blow my friggin' Disney budget on all this dining.
You should go to Victoria and Albert's.
Where's that at?
It's at Grand Floridian.
Oh,
it's the most expensive restaurant on Disney property.
Oh man. I don't know, man. I could tell you, I kind of budget $100 a day for my wife and I for like snacks, breakfast, lunch, and then dinner's going to be what dinner's going to be, you know. And honestly, we hit that pretty right on the mark. I think we spent like $200 in the parks on food for 2 days. That was one thing I was going to ask you guys. Is there no breakfast at Disney World? Because apparently COVID has removed breakfast from Disneyland. I don't know. There isn't a single place to get a breakfast. I'm not quite. That used to be our thing. Like we would actually start our days in California Adventure and go have breakfast at Flo's. And we were looking around. I couldn't find any place that even served. Everything was lunch or dinner.
To be honest, I can't speak for the theme parks because I honestly don't know. I don't go that early to know. But the resorts definitely do for sure.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I don't think you can eat at the resorts yet. Well, actually, the only one open is Grand California. I don't think you can get a reservation unless you're a guest right now. I don't think they're letting people in to just dine. But I just thought that was weird that lunch service started at 10. Of course, I guess the park opens at 9 and they start lunch service at 10. So I guess if you really want a croissant, you could go to Starbucks. Of course, I could tell you what, that might have been the longest line in the park was the Starbucks line.
Always, every part.
So anyway, so yeah, like I said, as far as planning goes, I do spreadsheet it, and I know like the way that you guys have to do your fast passes. It's kind of I'm actually a little concerned with how that's going to work. How I'm going to be able to do the rides without having any fast passes coming up. I mean, I don't know if there's any talk about them coming back. I know that rumor around here had it that well, that wasn't a rumor. They opened up more reservations starting tomorrow at Disneyland, and we changed tiers. The way they do the COVID stuff here is different colored tier, and so they're actually changing. They changed the tier for Anaheim, so the thought is that they're increasing capacity starting tomorrow at the park. So I just wonder when they'll maybe add additional virtual queues. Do you guys have virtual queues for anything other than Rise of the Resistance?
Just Rise.
Just Rise.
Yeah, just Rise.
And so like right now, like, so say you were in the park and you wanted to go on like Flight of the Passage, what's that standby probably going to run you?
Lately, I want to say about an hour.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
don't
say
think I've
that.
ever
No
seen it
more
longer
than
than an hour,
Okay.
which is the shortest you'll ever see it.
Okay. No, that's cool. Cause that's what I was wondering. Like when it gets out there, with the fact, the way it goes at Disney World is you can make 3 advanced fast passes. And then once you use them up, then you can try to get more, which, not having that it's a little intimidating going out there thinking that you're spending all that money and you're not gonna be able to get on the rides you want to get on. But, and I guess it'll work out, but that definitely adds a degree of difficulty especially when you're booking your dining 4 months before you're booking your fast passes, right? So that
it's crazy.
it is. It's totally crazy. But
Yeah.
Disneyland is not much. There isn't as much to plan. And like I said, for me, going back to Irv's chill days, when my wife and I go up for 4 or 5 hours on the weekend, a lot of time we have zero plan. It's like I said, we'll go have breakfast and then I'll just like, all right, well, what's got a short wait? And, whatever's got the shortest wait, that's where we're gonna go. So, because like I said, we go up, when we had passes, we go up enough that we can do whatever we want to do. Anyway, any closing thoughts before we shut it down for this week?
Can't think of anything.
Can't think of anything. All right. Well,
no, me out.
All right. Well, anyway, apologize to everybody for the episode getting out late this week. We had things we had to move around, and we'll try to be on schedule next time. So anyway, thanks again for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a review. I have not checked Apple in the last couple of days. Don't know if we're on there yet or not. I know that some other people with podcasts are having some issues with Apple, so we'll keep after them. We are Kicks at the Castle. You can follow us on Instagram. Don't forget to tag us and use the hashtag Kicks at the Castle. My name's John. You can find me on Instagram at Weekends with Walt. El Doggy, I'm still going to work on workshopping that. Irv, where can they find you?
Oh, I'm at Main Street Dad on Instagram, and that's it.
All right. Matt, how can they hit you up?
You guys can find me at THEDISNEYHYTEBEAST. I know that was a mouthful. Or at the Disney Hype Beast, or at TDHB Shop. If you need some shoes, hit me up. If you guys need help buying shoes, hit me up. I got you.
I need some help, Matt. I need some help, bro.
Where was that help on Saturday? Those shadows.
Hey.
All right,
man. You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, some get rained out.
That's all I gotta say.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you all next week.